New poll out shows Governor Cuomo's approval rating has dropped to its lowest level. The Quinnipiac University poll conducted March 11th to the 16th shows 50% of those surveyed approve of the governor's performance, while 39% disapprove. And the numbers sound pretty good, but in December, the governor had a 58% approval rating. So that's a bit of a drop. And joining us now, our political analyst, New York Post political columnist, Fred Dicker. He's in Albany as usual. And Fred, I know this poll comes in the middle of the governor's ongoing battle with the teachers unions. And, you know, we've seen examples around here of how much and how hard they are lobbying to get public support behind them. And this poll seems to suggest it's working.
No question about it. Look, back in the fall, and we've talked about this before, actually it was a late summer, in the Democratic primary, the governor lost this area in a Democratic primary to Zephyr Teachout. And in the last few days, we've been talking about the unhappiness in the Democratic Party on the part of a lot of prominent Democrats with the governor. And that's what I think this poll is speaking to. The poll does ask explicitly whether voters in New York side with the teachers unions on education reform issues or with the governor. And the governor gets buried on this, more than 2-to-1 siding with the teachers against the governor. Teachers have run ads against the governor. And you may recall back in December, the governor had just come off running something like $30 million of his campaign ads saying how wonderful he was. So that's faded. The teachers are out there battling against him still, and the budget fight is partly about that. So I think this is a result of that. Yeah,
well, I was just going to ask you, we had that big rally in Albany last week with the teachers and the students and everybody sort of pushing. I know we got some video. We're looking at it now. Does this make an impact then? Does it have a sort of an impact on the public's impression of this?
The rally itself, I don't think necessarily has an impact, but it speaks to the power of the teachers' unions, which have tens and tens of thousands of members across the state. People look to teachers for guidance. Parents look to their teachers for guidance. So when they hear the teachers speak as they are, saying that the governor is demonizing them and is wrong on some of these key issues, I think that's what's having the impact, not the particular rally.
All right, we want to get to today's events then, and this ethics agreement with the Assembly today. What does it mean, Fred, and how close is the state to having some kind of ethics reform, because there's only two legs of this three-legged triangle that they've got?
Right. This is not much of anything, and the sense around was the governor rushed to announce this last night and then today because he knew this poll was coming out, that he was trying to shift attention away from it. The good government groups don't like it. The Senate Democrats won't even endorse it. And when you look at the specifics of it, Liz, it's just the same old, same old. Most of these things are already in effect. For instance, full disclosure of outside income. Well, right now they have to disclose virtually all of their outside income, and that doesn't necessarily make any difference at all.
All right. Well, we'll see where this goes next then. And you don't expect much from the Senate then?
No. Well, the Senate Democrats, and certainly the Senate Republicans, are not in favor of it right now. In the end, there may be some agreement. But if this is it, it's as modest an agreement as you could possibly have. There's not much in this at all.
All right. Well, we'll follow it. Thank you, Fred. Fred's on the radio live from the state capitol weekday mornings, 10 to 11, Talk 1300 AM.